Hey, second grade, Miss Daly here. For today, we will be doing math lesson 9. Our I can statement is I can create arrays using rows and columns. For today, we are going to start out by looking at these equal groups. How many groups do I have? Good. I have 3 groups. How many pennies are in each group? Good. 5. I have 3 groups of 5. 1, 2, 3 groups of 5. I want to change this from 3 groups of 5 to 3 rows of 5. Show me with your arms, which way do rows go? Up and down or side to side? Good. Rows go from side to side. If I need 3 rows of 5, I'm going to start by just separating my rows. So I'm going to do 1 row of 5, then 2 rows of 5, then 3 rows of 5. And rows go from side to side. Let's start with my first row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my first row of 5 from side to side. I need 3, so let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 rows of 5, and I need 1 more. Good. Now I have 3 rows of 5. Let's say I want to separate this into rows. So first, show me again with your arm which way do rows go? Good. Side to side. So I know this is 1 row of 5. This is 2 rows of 5. And this is 3 rows of 5. Now, how many pennies are in each row? Show me on your hand. 5. In my first row, I have 5. In my second row, plus 5. And in my third row, plus 5. Now let's skip count. 5 plus 5 equals 10. 10 plus 5 equals 15. Good. Now I want to separate them into columns. Show me with your arm what columns look like. Good. Up and down. So my mouse is going to be going up and down just like this. Here's 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns. I have 5 columns. How many pennies are in each column? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 15. Now, if I wanted to write a sentence to show the 2 different equations equaling the same number, check it out. Both equations equal the same number, which means that my total number of pennies is 15. What sentence could I write? I'll start you off and then you help me with the second one. I know that I have 3 rows of 5. I need to equal that to columns. 3 rows of 5 equals how many columns of blank? First, how many columns do I have? Think first. Good. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns of how many in each column? Good. 3. 3 in each column. So my sentence is 3 rows of 5 equals 5 columns of 3. They have the same total for both equations. It's just separated differently into rows and columns. Let's try another one. This time I have how many groups? Good, 2 groups. How many dimes are in each group? Good. 7. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. I want to create an array of 2 columns of 7. 2 columns of 7. Show me with your arm what columns look like. Good. Columns go up and down. I need 2 columns of 7. Let's first start with 1 column of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my first column of 7. I need 2 columns of 7. Let's go again. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 2 columns of 7. Now, I want to separate them into columns. How many columns do I have? Good. 2. There's 1 column, 2 columns. How many dimes are in each column? How many dimes are in each column? Good. 7. I have 7 in my first column plus 7 in my second column. What is 7 plus 7? Good. 14. Now I want to separate them into rows. Rows go which way? Up and down or side to side? Good. Rows go side to side. There's my first row of how many? Good. There's 2 in my first row. Second row. Third row. Fourth row. Fifth row. Sixth row. Seventh row. I have 7 rows. And how many dimes in each row? Good. 2. Plus how many in my second row? 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 14. Did my total change? No. Even though we separated them into rows and columns, my total does not change. I don't take any away and I don't give it. Okay? Now I want to type out a sentence that shows that these 2 equations are equal. Let's start with our columns first. Since I have 2 columns of how many in each column? Good. 7. I have 2 columns of 7. I want you to think of this second part. 2 columns of 7 equals how many rows of blank? First thing, how many rows do you have? Good. 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rows of how many in each row? Good. There are 2 dimes in each row. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Good. Okay, so even though my equations look completely different, it's showing that an equation that has 2 columns of 7 is the exact same as 7 rows of 2. Okay, just because my equations look really different, it's showing the same array. It just differs by how it's organized. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're understanding a little bit more about arrays. Thumbs middle if you're still a little bit confused, and a thumbs down and if you're like, Miss Daly, I'm gonna need a little bit of help on this one. Okay. If you are feeling middle or down, please make sure you're reaching out to your teacher for some extra help. We are so happy to help you. Otherwise, if you're feeling pretty good or if you're kind of feeling in the uppers, go ahead and go to your Google Classroom page. It is Lesson 8 Problem Set, and make sure you are putting in your name, selecting your classroom teacher, not me. It's your classroom teacher, so it could be me, Miss L, or Mrs. Jones. And then complete your Google form. See you later, second grade.